All right, check 1 2 1 2. Here we go. We are broadcasting episode number 5, Mauricio Mejia live, broadcasting from San Jose, California, here in the Silicon Valley. And I'm very excited that we've taken on the show and have taken on a direction of where we're bringing on special guests and friends, people that I know, colleagues, industry people. And the person that I have on today, we actually have a long history. I think we've known each other probably 20 plus years. Going back to when I probably first moved here to San Jose and the Bay Area, and we were talking backstage and had some good stuff. But real quick, I want to just do a recap of the people that I've had on the show so far. I had Sarah Ramos on the show back on week number 1. We had last week. Geez, man, who did we have last week? I'm already losing my memory here. Wow, I can't even think of who I had anyways. But this week we're bringing on a good friend of mine who is an entrepreneur who has had a lot of success in not only his local business, but in his other businesses. He's a TV producer. He's producing, entrepreneur, and also is a star on the show Shahs of Sunset. Now, I'm going to be honest. I watched the show a couple of times, and it was really hilarious. It's a reality show, so it's funny to see the dynamics of a group of people come together and all the different personalities. So I'm proud to present and to have on my show tonight, a good friend of mine, Shervin Roohparvar. I have to I had to practice that. I even had to call him. I'm like, hey, Shervin, I have to have you explain to me how to say your last name, because I don't want to chop it up, bro. I've always known you as Shervin, and even in my phone, I had a short acronym for you, and we'll talk about that on. So I want to introduce a good friend of mine, Shervin. Are you ready to get on? Shervin, how are you? There you go, man. What's going on, bud? Hey, here's what happens. I'm trying to get my notes up ready, and I want to do a quick rundown and remember who I had on my show last week. I'm like, geez, age is catching up, or this quarantine life is catching up to us, or something,
I think we're both, man. I'm there with you.
Oh man, we made some jokes. We've cut a couple of pounds. We've lost mass, but we've gained fat. And when we're around the house in t-shirts and shorts, it's kind of tough when you put on the jeans and you're like, whoa, what is going on over here?
It's the way of measure, right? We don't want to stand on the scale, but you can tell by how loose or tight your jeans are. Or right? If your watch jiggles, you're good. Right?
Yeah, no. So my watch is a little tight, and then you're right, my bracelet. Yeah, no, and then
I closed the gyms. What did you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, I mean, even if you try to go out and go for a run, it's not the same. I try to do my workouts outside. So anyhow, I was just telling everybody that we've known each other probably about 20 plus years. I know that I moved here to the Bay Area in 1993, 94, and into San Jose in 96, 97. So wow. Yeah, that's 23 years, man.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
That's nuts. I actually seen some pictures of you, your young baby face, and I remember when you used to come to the clubs and all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that. So real quick, again, thank you for making the time. I know you. Well, I know probably before all this you had a pretty busy schedule, and even though now you probably have a busy schedule with your businesses, and we want to touch on that as well. So I want to welcome you, good friend of mine, to everybody that's going to join us, and people will start clipping on as well. Shervin, I don't want to even try to chop up, but it's Roohparvar, right? Roohparvar. There you go. Shervin, you're an entrepreneur. You're going to share with us your businesses, your strategies. You've been on TV. You're a TV star. You're a TV producer and a producer, and you're a star. Is the show is on this year, right? I mean, is it every season?
We actually just had our season 8 finale air.
Okay.
So this show itself has been on 8 seasons. I've been on 5 of them. 5 of the
Good.
8.
So for those that may not know, it's the Shahs of Sunset, and you've had some pretty cool parts, man. For a minute there, you were kind of the controversy in there. Well,
I guess everybody gets their turn when it comes to these things. So
that's right. That's right.
I never set out to be on TV. I never set out to do this. It was something that kind of opportunity came knocking. And I thought to myself, how many people on earth get an experience like this? So
absolutely.
I would walk away. And it's been a hell of a ride. There's been many moments that I wanted to find the biggest rock I could and crawl under it and not come out. But I had a lot of fun too, right? So, nothing comes for free. Everything has a price. But I don't regret a second of it, man. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of people. It allowed me to expand my platform tremendously.
That's right.
And my reach and my network has grown, because of it. It's helped some of my businesses and some of my endeavors, some not so much.
Right.
But and then it's also gotten me some really cool experiences. Like, I never expected in my life to be interviewed on the red carpet at LA Fashion Week.
Oh my God, I saw pictures of that too, man.
Yeah, with my mom and my date. You know what I mean? Like, it was on fire, right? So it's like it's been different. It's been fun, and I think my favorite part about it is I've gotten a chance to be able to kind of share my voice and help. I've done a lot of anti-bullying talks. I've done. I was helping the ACT group, which is for autism care and treatment. I raise money every year. I work with Babes for Boobs, and that's for breast cancer, which hits very close to home for me. And because of my exposure there, I've been invited to help, and it's felt great.
Nice. You mentioned a couple of things there of your platform, and I can completely relate. I've been in the night. I retired out of the nightlife industry back in 2010, 11, 12, something like that. I did it for so many years. I started when I was 15 years old, going to clubs, and then at 16 started doing my own parties. At 17, I was already doing 18 and over parties, and not even 18. And then at 18, I was doing 21 and over parties, and I wasn't even 21. So from a young age, and then growing up in LA is a fast-paced environment. So it's hunt or be hunted in LA, and it's a very aggressive environment to be in. So you learn to become very competitive. And I understand when you say platform and relationships and network that you build, because ever since I was that age and being in the nightclub scene for so many years, and then being in a position of power in the nightclub, meaning either the promoter, producer, or running the front doors, you get to meet a lot of great people, and also not a lot of so great people because of the spectrum. You get the extremes. You get real super cool people, and then you get people that they just feel that, and you even deal with it today, the entitled person. So, but the people that I met and the relationships that I built opened up so many doors for me, and gave me the opportunities that even to this day now, 10 years later since I've retired from it, I can still utilize and leverage to move forward and navigate. So I totally get what you're talking about when you talk about relationships. I mean, your doors have opened in a whole different environment that not too many people can only dream of it, so share some of that with us.
I got to tell you, Mauricio, it's not, in no way do I think I'm some kind of like real TV star or anything like that. It's, it's for fun, right?
Yeah.
It's very little recognition. The actual actors, actresses, like real talent that hits the screen, I have tremendous amounts of respect for, and there's no way I would put myself in the same league or the same sport as them.
Right.
But, getting a little piece of that taste, it's been pretty cool,
Absolutely.
You get to meet a lot of people, and and in business, what do we know? We know that it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Right.
So
and it's hard work.
Building.
And it's hard work. I know for a fact, being in the nightlife industry, people would come up, "Oh, Mauricio, I want to be a nightclub owner. I want to be a bar owner. I want to be this." And I'm like, I remember one time I just told a person, I said, "If you want, we'll trade. You can do what I do for 1 week, and trust me, the glitz and glamour of it. People only see the highlights. They don't see the actual behind the scenes, and I know that demands a lot of work. I can just imagine what it was like to when you're doing that, because you have cameras on you at all times.
It's definitely a job, right? You guys, the viewers are watching. It's like, hey, these guys are having the time of their lives. They're drinking, they're partying, they get into their occasional argument. But what else is new? No, man, it's hard work. It's a lot. You're producing a show. We go on these vacations, but the producers are very clear on letting you know that this isn't a vacation. You're on the clock, right?
Yeah.
and you work, So but you do it because when it airs, there's so many people that come out and go, oh, "The sun is getting me, huh?"
Yeah.
There's so many people that come and contact you and say, "Hey, you're inspirational. It was awesome to see you. Thank you for sharing this. I relate to your story," and it makes you feel good knowing that you kind of raised somebody's confidence, or made somebody feel they're not alone in a certain situation, or somebody kind of looks up to you. It's very flattering. It's a big honor.
Well,
So I really enjoyed that.
I'll be honest, man. Sherman, I'm proud to say that I know you, man. It was cool to see you when you and your brothers and your group of your entourage, because you've always had you've always had a big entourage, because you've known a lot of people here in the Bay Area, in the Silicon Valley. The guys that you'd bring, and not only the guys, but all the ladies that would follow your group. When you guys would come into the nightclub, you were always very respectful. Your team was your entourage was very respectful, and everyone just did their part so that things would we would always keep that level of fun and integrity and just just quality.
Having a good time, man. That was it.
Yeah, man, and we all went.
There's
We all
nothing more that I would love to be able to do that than right now, right?
Oh my God, geez! Once this quarantine thing comes off,
and I gotta tell you, man, you guys ran a hell of a shop. You, Jose, I mean, you guys killed it. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was always, I mean, those days at the vault will never be matched. You know, it never happened again. It still hasn't happened. I mean, sometimes I go to some of these really cool places in LA, the really hot spots, the ones that you see and hear about. And I'm like, man, those vault days stomp on this. Right?
Yeah, well, it was a different era for us. We were all growing up. We were all young. I don't think we're far apart of age. So, I think that that era was just was a unique era. We came out of the late 90s, or, part of for me, it was I started early 90s in the nightlife scene, and then carried it on. And then going into the 2000s, we got to see the .com bust, and then during that period of time, I'm not sure if you were involved in the real estate world. Well, so I was involved. Like, for me, it was real estate during the day, and then nightclub at night. So I always told everyone I was like Bruce Wayne, Bruce Wayne during the day and Batman at night. And the only difference is that instead of having a black Lamborghini, I had a red Ferrari parked in the front, and then you and your group. I remember that it was a yellow Lamborghini. You guys, there you go.
I still have it.
There you go. So, funny story, true story, and and that's why I had to, when I called you and asked you, how to pronounce your last name properly. In my phone, I had it short. It was Shervin Lambo. That's how I had you on my phone. So, because I remember when it was time to rock and roll for the clubs. Hey, I got to call all the boys. I got to tell them, hey, bring all the cars, bring all the toys. Let's have fun. And that's how I had you down. So,
I don't know if you know, but I had a hospitality group for a while in Seattle, and we had we had a few restaurants, lounge, club. It's I respected what you did before, man, and now,
man,
listen, just come and buy the drinks. I don't want to sell them. I don't want to do it again. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of liability. It's a lot of headache. That's
right.
So many little moving pieces that all have to be coordinated. And you're literally running like a symphony that night, And everybody, and by the way, you got to throw in the fact that it's never fun being the sober guy that has to work amongst all the drunk people in the room, right? So
you have to be balanced. And I remember, so I had a routine, and there was only a few people that figured it out. But from 9 o'clock when we opened up the doors to midnight, for me, the minute I walked into the club, it was showtime, and I had to do a mental preparedness every time. And literally, I walk into the club, I'd have one shot to kind of kill the edge, and then we would kick off the doors. And then from 9 to midnight, my job was to greet everyone, say hello, kiss, do all the hugs and kisses. Hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. Take care of everybody. And if you weren't in by midnight, because normally by midnight we were already sold out, we couldn't allow any more people in, then I go inside, and then that's when the orchestra, the show really begins, because by that time, everyone is picking up the pace, the drinking starts, and then I'm just surprised that I'm still alive today and I'm in the shape that I'm in, because it got to I won't even give all the secrets out, but they got to the point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. And then everybody wants to drink with the owner. Everybody wants to do this and that. And I do, it's a lot of work. I mean, it's drinking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then taking off to Vegas on Sundays and then coming back on Tuesday. I mean, it was like a whole circuit. So, so now, those were the fun days. We had a lot of amazing times. We got to share a lot of great experiences, got to meet a lot of great people. You moved to Southern California. What year did you end up moving to Southern California?
Well, I went to college out here.
Okay.
And so I went to college out here. I came back to the Bay, but I always kind of had like one leg in, one leg out, right? I mean, I remember during like the mid-2000s, I had a place out here, and I would just come, like sometimes I would come out like on a Thursday, and I would stay till Sunday. And I'd always be like, okay, I'm going to go Friday to Sunday. I ended up coming Thursday and kind of push it from Monday or Tuesday. You know, it's like I was having a good time. I didn't really want to go back. San Jose, it's my hometown. It's where I'm from. You know, like I got nothing bad to say about it. Well, I mean, and if I do, it's my town. I can say it, right?
Right. Hey, you own it. That's right. You can own it. That's
Nobody
right.
else can say anything bad about it. I can say what's good or what's bad. But my point is, you know, it has its ups and downs. And one of the ups was my dad used to say, like, this is a great place to make money, right?
That's right.
So I would make money there. He's like, make your money here and go spend it somewhere else, right?
That's right.
So I'd be like, Dad, I want to move. He's like, no, that's stupid, you know, because you're not going to make money anywhere else. Like, here, you're going to make your money here, then go blow it here, blow it there, go have some fun, right?
Yep.
So we always come back and forth, and because LA is so close, and you know, it's 45-minute flight, and there'd be one every hour, and or if you drove the way we drive,
4.5 hours.
Faster, right?
4.5 hours is my record time from San Jose to LA.
I did 3 hours and 53 minutes.
Woo,
man. Fine.
Yeah, that you were lucky, and it must have been late at night because it was that's crazy. Now you made a point about making money here in the Silicon Valley, and I have to agree with you. I've opened my business and my base is here in Silicon Valley. I've tried to do stuff and you know, I opened up offices in one of my businesses. I had 2 offices in LA and one in San Diego. And I thought that, you know, I could manage the Bay Area from LA, but it, you know, just, I was so rooted here in the Silicon Valley that it just didn't make sense. So what I thought is I can manage LA from the Silicon Valley. So you're right. For me, is the travel time is 45-minute flight to LA or an hour and 10 minutes to San Diego, or a drive. So I reversed it because it seems like you kind of shifted more to LA. But share with us, because I know you have a business here in the Bay Area. You're still rooted here in the Silicon Valley, even though you're based in LA.
Yeah, you know, I still have property in the Bay Area. My mom and dad are there. You know, I got a lot of family there. I obviously have lots of friends. And I have 2 companies there. I mean,
we missed the cool people up here, bro. All the cool people moved to LA, man. I'm holding it down for us, man. I'm holding it down. So
we're waiting for you guys to come visit.
Yeah.
No, but I come back and forth. You know, I saw my tech companies. Given the shelter in place right now and what's going on with COVID, I've had to suspend all operations in one of the companies, Auction BDI, which is a consignment auction house for tech equipment. And so that one, unfortunately, we've had to suspend. But then the other company, SVC, that works in the same space where we do used gray market tech equipment, but we also do a lot of medical equipment. So because of that, we've been considered an essential business because we sell medical equipment. And that one has been able to remain open. However, current times, we're running a skeleton crew. Everybody's adhering to all the policies that the county set forth, 6 feet distance, face masks, face coverings, gloves, lots of hand sanitizer stations. You know, it's an unprecedented time that we're living in, and it's heavily affecting business. I read an article today that estimated 100,000 businesses will close their doors permanently or already have. And, we're seeing these big boys drop, right? The redwoods, the 200-year-old trees, the Neiman Marcus, right? The Nordstrom at Stone Ridge Mall in Pleasanton has closed its doors permanently, right? These are big names.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. I mean, I was reading another one, like Caterpillar is going to shut down some of its plants. This thing is insane. It's something we've never seen before. It's something history we've never seen before. And I was telling my friends, I'm like, 100 years from now, some kid's going to get annoyed because he's going to miss a question on his history quiz, and it's going to have to do with freaking COVID, and he's going to cuss it out, right? Because it's going to be in books forever, right?
Yeah.
This is not normal. It's not something we've ever seen, and I obviously, first thing I got to say is hats off to all the first responders, all the essential workers. Without them, literally the country would stop. And they're the ones that are working day and night and putting themselves in this high risk situation, high traffic, high exposure, and they're doing it so you can get your groceries, you can get your Amazon deliveries, and that you can at least have somewhat of a normal life. So let's never all forget that. Let's make sure we remember that and properly thank them. And then
I agree with that. And today was interesting to hear. I know that they skipped LA, or they changed it, but they did the flyovers in California today to honor the first responders and the people that are out there putting their lives, the frontliners, And
I think the flyby is great. It boosts some spirits, even for the guys at home. It boosts some spirits. The kids thought it was awesome, right? But I really think there should be some kind of with all the stimulus money and all this money that's now being printed like it's nothing, I think these guys should get something out of it. You know, I would like to see that. You know,
and I think a lot of people agree with you, Shervin. I think that is something that people feel. I think right now, human kindness is becoming to come. I have a good friend, it's a mentor, and he said, you know, I'm kind of glad this happened. And I'm like, well, give me a reason why. He's all, because it's the TMZ days are over, meaning like this young generation that goes out and always is popping bottles and focused on me, and you know they're doing the whole Snapchat and they're forgetting, you know, everyone's so honed into their phones or whatever and disconnected. This has allowed for now kind of like you know, for us to kind of slow down, rethink, retool ourselves, rethink and refocus our energies, and then now learn to appreciate the people that are out there that are doing things that are putting their lives at risk. You know, it gives you more like a human kindness, more humanity is coming back. You know, I don't know.
I could not agree more. And I think that, you know, you got to look at the silver lining in every cloud. And I think that this pandemic has caused for a forced social reset that was necessary. Yes. You know, we were a society of consumption, a society that, you know, was all about the next doing it for the gram, the next pick for the gram, the next ridiculous meal that you didn't deserve, the too many vacations that you shouldn't be taking, right? And I think that it really kind of gave us a good shake and said, sit your ass at home and pay attention to what is real and what is not.
Right.
What do you actually have? Where's your substance, you know? And to really understand who are the people you're talking to. You know, when you're at home, who are on your Zoom calls? Who are the ones that are texting you? Who are the ones that you're talking to on the phone? Who are the ones that are checking on you? Those are your real friends. Those are the ones. Those are relationships that you need to take care of, that you need to develop, that you now notice what value they bring. Because in a time of loneliness, they're the ones that were there for you, right?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because that's kind of how we circle back. And I started thinking of all the different people that I've had that had either had some influence on me, or that I want to look back and slow down and say, hey, like, for example, you know, I asked you to be on the show because I felt the value and the things that you've done are valuable, and there should be shared with the world. I think that once people play this either on their Facebook channels or on the YouTube channel, that we can make an impact. We've experienced life. We've had a great life. I have no regrets on all the things that I've done and all the things that I've experienced in life. I think that you can feel and share the same. I think that people need to understand that it's not easy to get to where we're at, and at the same time, it's continuous hard work. We always have to keep reinventing ourselves, because what's going to happen after this? The things start to kind of loosen up. I mean, does it mean people go back to their old habits? I don't think so. I mean, I know for me, this thing has really put there's going to be a pre-COVID and post-COVID change for me. I mean, pre-COVID, I was on fast mode. I'm running 5 different companies. I share with everybody. This year I wanted to hit 100 million, and by 2021 I wanted to hit the first billionaire. You know, be one of the first billionaire unicorns out of Latino billionaires out of Silicon Valley. I was in the wheelhouse so much that I started losing sight of some of the things that needed to keep me grounded. So a lot of grounding has happened for me, and a lot of reaching out to people that are important. Like, you know, and like I said, you made an impact on me a long time ago, and I've remembered, and that's why we're here today sharing this conversation. So
I appreciate it. You know, again, I'm very honored to be here. Really, thank you for bringing me. And what you said, you're exactly on point. And, you know, to add to that, Mauricio, I've been saying this for a while. I think life post-corona is going to be very different in many ways. I mean, I think industries are going to change. Nightlife, hospitality, you know, let's put it this way. I lucked out that I escaped that.
Hey, we're gonna tell people stories. Back in the day, there used to be nightclubs, we used to pop bottles in champagne, and kids are gonna be like, pop bottles in champagne, like it's gonna come back.
July, all the time.
I'm going to tell you right now, we better remember this so that when that trend comes, we're ahead of that curve, and we can capitalize off of that, because we can recreate that experience for them.
What you told me when you invited me onto this is that we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. And so what we're waiting to talk about is, you know, silver lining in every cloud. Think about all the great opportunities that are going to come out of this. right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's literally hitting the reset button. Remember when we were kids and you played the Nintendo game and you started making wrong moves? What would you do? Lean over and hit that reset button and start
you get upset because you don't want to lose. You want to hit reset. You want to start all over.
There we go. Yeah. Starts all over. But now you know what's coming.
That's right.
You already did this level. You already know what's coming. You know how to handle it. And so literally, we just got to sit here and eagerly wait. And if you're smart, if you're waiting for it, if you're paying attention, if you're prepared, don't do it today. Don't wait for the opportunity to come, then prepare for it. You got to prepare now. This is your time. Don't look back and say, you know what, during the shelter in place, during the quarantine, I saw everything on Netflix. That's not going to help you, bro.
Oof. Right? You just gave me chills, my brother. I'm going to tell you right now, because we have to pivot. And something you just said right now is we have to keep refining ourselves. And you know what? One of the biggest things that we have to learn is patience right now while we're dealing with this, because I hope that we had a call last week and you shared 3 different opportunities. There's one more we got to talk about, but I did the same thing. I repivoted, I retooled myself. I came out with a new brand. I launched my new company May 1st. I should be in full operation by July 1st, but I got to be patient because you can't, people are working at a different pace right now. So the urgency is different than it was pre-COVID-19. So share with me, some of the opportunities that you're seeing right now.
I think there's so many opportunities. Like, for example, the whole industry as far as hospitality goes, right?
Yes.
So I foresee it completely changing, right? It's going to be a long time before, 1, the regulators allow large gatherings.
Yeah.
And 2, before people are actually comfortable going to them, right?
Yeah.
I was watching a video of EDC. I don't think we're going to see something like that again. That's 100,000 people at one place. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening anytime soon. So what's going to happen? People still have a need for socialism, have a need for, having fun and being social and being amongst their friends and also meeting others, right? So I think what's going to happen, what's going to go is it's not going to be about the club anymore. I think it's going to be about the party planner.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't think it's going to be the vault anymore. I think it's going to be Mauricio. And somebody's going to say, listen, I got instead of 5 guys dropping $5K a piece at the club, 5 guys will put $5K a piece into a pile, give it to Mauricio, and he's going to throw a badass party at their house.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hand-selected people.
Yes.
And it's going to be like everything's going to be out of the box, right? These guys just kick it. The DJ rolls up. You got a bar set up. You got some food passed around. You got some hand-selected crowd that Mauricio brings, and they're going to have their fun that way. And it's going to be smaller. It's going to be legal, and it's going to be more exclusive, right?
So we're gonna do mansion parties then. Is that what you're telling me, right? Some mansion parties. Get a 20,000 square foot mansion.
Same thing. Restaurants. You're gonna have a guy who's gonna do party parties, and he's gonna have a network of chefs under it, right? Yeah. And you're gonna have dinner parties, right? What have we noticed? Growing up, I remember I was talking to my mom about this years ago. I'm like, hey mom, growing up, we'd always do like these family parties. Like, we go like here, we go there. I remember when you were a kid, what would happen? You'd sleep in the room with all the coats, right? Yeah. But it was always happening. Everybody's having a great time, and then your dad would carry you out, put you in the back seat, and you'd sleep in the car until you got home. So I'm like, hey mom, how come are my friends not like classy people? How come none of us have this stuff, right? Maybe I got the wrong group of friends. No, it changed, right? It's because it went to the club. Because before that, if you remember, during that time, bottle service didn't exist.
No.
Like, talk to my dad and my uncle, like, bottle service. Like, what do you mean? Their bottle service was they would give them the Corona in the bottle, right? Right. So that was bottle.
We launched it in 2004. That was when the beginning of like real bottle service here in the Silicon Valley. It was nuts. And you're right. It's I like what. Yeah.
I think it's going to go back.
Yeah, and I think people are going to be more about quality versus the quantity. I think that shows. I think you're right. The industry is going through a major reset, and I think that even the price of tickets for concerts. I hope that this humbles a lot of the artists and a lot of the people that are entertainers, because I also felt that there was a lot of gouging in our industry. There's a lot of people that can't afford a $300-$400 ticket to go to a concert. There's a lot of sacrifices, and it's just because the way life has gone. So we'll see where that goes, and I like it. I've been predicting for a long time. I've been sharing with people my next venture, if I do go into the hospitality or back, because many people have asked me to get back into the nightlife, and I refuse to, because the amount it still, I don't want to say haunts me, but it reminds me of the amount of late nights and hard work, and then at the end of the day, I put value on my time. And what I've done now as I've grown and I've matured and I've gone into other ventures, I value the time that I have and my health and a lot of other factors. So for me to go back to nightlife is the way that it was in the past? No. Would I go into nightlife again? Yes, but it would be more exclusive. Like I like the members only type clubs. Like in San Francisco, there's the Battery Club, there's Wingtips, there's here in San Jose, there's the Silicon Valley Capital Club. I like those exclusive member only clubs because one, it's exclusive, and then two, it's private. And I think you're right. I think that going into that arena, you will take yourself out of the whole masses, and you can now do quality parties with quality people, and so forth.
I mean, it's always been happening, Mauricio. But they were calling them networking events, right? Well, now it's
right.
Networking event. The music's going to be a little bit loud, right?
Yeah.
That's it. You know? But
entertainment's going to be exclusive, you know.
What's going to be real exciting? What's going to be the simple? You know, maybe some people listening to this might say, "Well, that sounds really cool," but I'm more of a consumer for that than somebody that actually tried to do that. But I think an opportunity is coming that everybody's going to be able to have access to. Is there's going to be some really great real estate buys.
Yes.
Because the market is linear, right?
Yes.
As the market moves, the real estate moves. We've seen this before, brother.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So
2008, 9, and 10 this is a replay in the real estate market. We're going to see, and I've told people, I've told some friends that we're ready to buy homes. I've said, look, wait another 3 months, wait another 6 months. You're going to start seeing, unfortunately, you're going to start to see a lot of notice of defaults that are going to start going up. And then you're going to start to see a lot of notice of foreclosures. Ooh, am I losing you? You got me?
No, I'm here.
You'll start to see a lot of notices of foreclosures. And then, unfortunately, you know, the homes, there's going to be property values or properties are going to become available. Now, it just depends what kind of buyer are you. I want to get into the commercial side and the high density residentials because I want to, this time around, I want to be able to build something that brings me income back continuously. So I see a lot of different opportunities coming up. And you're right, real estate is going to be a big one.
You know, and I think we're going to see a huge decline in retail commercial space.
Ooh, I've been predicting that one for a long time. And the reason why
already on the decline, and now it's just like, you know, this last stretch of its last leg has just been kicked out of it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. I think that after the real estate market, when you saw that craziness with the real estate market, then all of a sudden the economy got really good, and then the rents, the retail centers or the retail side started to increase their rates on the retailers. And there's only so much, you can only stretch the dollar so much. I mean, even the cost of living, the rental prices of living in an apartment or a condo or whatever, I think that it's just gone way just too crazy. So I think this is now an economic reset as well. So we have to adapt. And I think that since we've been through something like this before, we have that experience.
We do. Listen, I don't want to make it seem like, you know, we're vultures and we're waiting for
No.
This is how it works. This is how it works.
Well, so we gotta wake people up. People gotta wake up and see that, hey, you have two choices. You can either walk around in the house in circles and feel poor me, like this is so unfair. This is so unfair in the world. Or you can walk around in circles thinking, how do I navigate out of this, and where's the opportunities, or how do I develop myself to become better in this life and adapt, because it's the evolution of life. You know, in business we got to be black and white. We can make adjustments to certain things, but at the end of the day, business is business. It's never personal. There goes that saying. Hey, it's only business, never personal. And then you really understand what that means. So yeah, I agree with you. It's not about being a vulture.
And I have another theory that I think some of the residential real estate in areas like Silicon Valley that are, you know, extremely expensive. When I say extremely expensive, it's the most expensive in the country, right?
Yes.
I mean, we're second to Hong Kong. Okay, so this is ridiculous, and the prices just don't make sense. $4,000 for one bedroom apartment just doesn't add up. And what's going to happen is I think the corporate culture is going to change. What these big companies are going to realize is, hey, you know what? I got all these guys working at home, and they're doing just fine. I don't
actually doing better. They're actually doing better.
I don't have to do this huge. You have this huge campus like Google and have a 4-star chef make their macaroni and cheese for them, right? They don't need nap pods and yoga instructors in the lawn because why these companies have these amenities is to pull the talent, right? And then they have to pay these engineers $350,000 a year because how else are you going to live in San Francisco? Well,
That's right.
Now the engineer can live in Wichita, Kansas, and he can get $140,000 a year, and he can fly in once a month for an all-hands-on-deck meeting, and that's it. And the guy pays rent there, and that's going to make less of a demand here, and the prices are going to adjust adversely, right?
That's right.
I think we're going to see a corporate culture shift. There's a lot of work from home. I mean, I know some people at first are like, I can't work from home. I can't work from home. And slowly but surely, they're opening some things up. I got a friend in Orange County, and he said, oh, man, my office opens up next week. I don't want to go. I'm really into this now. Like, I've got my groove. I'm getting my time in there. I've got my cycle. And it's working. Yeah. He's being productive. And when he feels like waking up a little bit later or working till 3 o'clock in the morning, he does.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing that chatter is going around here a lot here, too, as well. I talked to a friend of mine that works at SAP. And they're like, we're overcrowded even right now with people working from home. Our buildings are still overcrowded. And then you hear Twitter that says Twitter tells everyone they can go work from home forever.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, well, they need to regain some way of saving money so their stock can go back up. I mean, there's a lot of different shifting. There's a lot of different mindsets. And at the same time, I've heard people that have their workers working from home, and they're having their best months. Or their best their time right now, they're having the record numbers because people are spending time at home and are focused. So there's a lot of difference. There's still not enough information, but I think once we start seeing the patterns.
What's the average commute per day in Silicon Valley? It's like an hour and a half each way, right?
It's like LA now. It's like LA.
3 hours a day. That's 3 hours of better efficiency, more productivity. That's a loss.
Yeah.
Because you're stuck in the car. And by the way, it's not just 3 hours of productivity. It's 3 hours and the mindset, right? How do you feel in that traffic? You get tired. When you get home, it's not like you get home, you're like, you're ready to go. Or you get to work, you're ready to go. Like, man, that traffic sucked. I need a second to decompress, right?
Right. It's I call it freeway therapy. It's crazy. I mean, seriously, it's some serious freeway therapy because all you're doing is thinking. And you're right. By the time you get home, if you have a family, if you have kids and all that, you come home and now you're not giving them the time that they should, that a family deserves. Yeah.
Same thing.
And now you're overloading them with too much time and they're like, hello, can you just get away from me, please? Get away.
I saw a meme where cats and dogs were protesting to open it back up. It's like, get these guys out of here, bro.
Yeah, man, it's been nuts. And then you'll see your little spurts and hopefully we'll see what happens in these next couple of weeks when we start seeing some of the decompression of this of the whole staying home.
And saw at LA they changed the order. So our order was going to go till May 15th, and today they changed the safer at home order without an end date. So we have no date now. May 15th is off the table, and they're just going to go along with a 5-phase opening. I mean, the health director mentioned that this is definitely going to go on through July. So we're anticipating late July, early August. But you know what, man? I don't think it's going to be normal for at least a year.
Yeah.
And I think, and whoever's out there listening on real estate, if you're asking me for my thing on real estate, I think spring 2021 is we're going to start to see numbers change.
That's right.
It's got to be after the election. No market that takes a dump during the election year. So
that's right.
And then after that, gloves are off, right? They're not spending any more money.
Let's not talk politics right now because I'm gonna get fired up right now. Let's just wait after the election, and and actually, you know what? 2008, when the economy took a dump, back then we were in an election year as well. So similar patterns. There's some similarities here. It's just crazy that what we're dealing with, and it's just obviously we just got to deal with it. And I hope that everyone that's out there listening, I mean, there's a bunch of people. It's crazy that I'm watching the comments right here. We got our boy Jose Reese in the house. We got another Shervin Amini in the house. He says, "What's up in Los Gatos?" He's on IG, I guess. We got Mike. We got a lot of people that are jumping on board and saying, "What's up?" My boy Ruben Guerrero, Robert the Ghost Guerrero's brother's on here with us. That's cool. So, people are watching, they're listening, and we got Melissa Bent. great people to know.
Oh, yeah.
I think you might know her. Yeah, she mentioned.
They make an awesome line of products, by the way.
Oh my God, I love their product. By the way, we were working together, and I unfortunately just this stuff just kind of slowed things down, and we're going to see a slowdown on a lot of things, and then there's going to be kind of like a rebound, and we'll see that big wave moving forward. But again, what do you see?
Times this is better. It's better than being bored.
Yes.
It was getting stagnant. It was getting old. It needed a reset. We can look at this thing like glass half empty or half full, and I honestly think I think it's full. I think it's more than half full. I'm excited. This is something as a society we needed. We needed that reset. As an economy we needed that reset, and it's a good shake things up. Trust me, the rich, they're not going to hurt that much, and it just gives the rest of us an opportunity to make a buck. So
oof. So good point on the glass half full or half empty. A good friend of mine, Miles Kovac, founder of Dub Magazine, he's been a mentor of mine and good friend for many years. We actually he grew up in a neighborhood next to mine. He grew up in Boyle Heights, and I grew up in Highland Park. He says, is the glass half full or half empty? He goes, I just get a smaller glass. And I'm like, oh, man. So, so there's many ways to look at it and many ways to look at opportunities. So I agree, Shervin. I appreciate, again, your words of encouragement, your words of inspiration. Share with us. So right now, again, let's kind of recap. You still have your businesses out here. How are things in LA for you right now? And what do you see? How's the future looking for being in the entertainment industry, meaning in the entertainment with like the production of the Shahs of Sunset? Yeah.
We're outside of production right now because we wrapped this year. But I mean, this does put a pause on everything, right? So Hollywood shut down. There's no production. Oof. I mean, this is going to make an effect. Obviously, whatever was going on. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I had a small part in an independent movie, and that would have come out at the end of the summer, and now that stopped, right? So when and where it does, or if it gets scrapped, I don't know. But this did shake it up. I'm out here. Everywhere has their own industry. Silicon Valley has, it's all about tech. Anybody you meet, it's tech, right? So in LA over these years, I've come to realize that out here it's all real estate, right? Mm-hmm. And so, so I've started a construction company.
Nice.
And, we do multi-unit housing, buildings, right? And I think like you mentioned, it's great. It's a great way to create multiple streams of revenue, create an income stream, and it's a nest egg, right? Because the price isn't going to go anywhere. People need places to live. So that's what I've been doing. I've been focusing on it. It's been a little slow. One of the things that we specialize in is seismic retrofit. So buildings come to compliance for earthquake safety. Yeah. And because this is safety and construction, we are considered an essential business. So we are currently operating, but things are a little slow given the way, a lot of apartment building owners like, listen, man, I get it. I got to meet compliance, but I'm not collecting any rent on this building. I don't want to put any money into it, which is a very reasonable argument. So things have slowed down a little bit, but I'm not worried about it because I think I've positioned myself right in the industry that I want to be in, and I've built my network, and I'm ready to pounce. So when this thing lights up and it goes, I'm right there. I'm ready. On your mark, get set. I'm in that position, right, waiting for that cap gun to go off.
Right. No, you know what, and that's exactly how I position myself as well. I'm in that ready, set, and there's a go, but the big go is coming. So right now it's just practice, ready, set, and then practice the go, because when it lets loose, we got to be prepared for that. Some of the things that I picked up, and you can share with us as well, what you picked up is I've done a lot of reading. I've done more reading because I have more time. I've cut down the news. I read the news instead of watch the news because the TV is designed to suck you in. And it's crazy whether you're watching CNN, Fox, or all the different networks. There's so much information right now that I think that has created that anxiety, and that you're wondering who's telling what, and then your social media as well. I mean, I've cut down on the social media on my time on it. My time where I want to spend is, like, for example, on my show. I want to be able to produce content, and I want to be able to spend my time like this, knowing that I have 2 days of doing a show, and I want to make sure that I have good stuff. But what are some of the things that you've done during this time as well to kind of keep yourself sharp and prepare yourself for that ready, set, go moment?
I think one of the things I've worked on is my dream board, right?
Ooh,
Like
nice.
if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a direction, then you're lost. So I'm setting goals. I've got short term, I've got long term, and I've really thought about it. And I've got the one that is the unicorn that I'm aiming for, right? And I've worked on that, and I've thought, in doing so, actually, it led me to really start to have a better understanding of what exactly is it that I do want. Sometimes it's really easy to say, hey, house, car, boat, jet, blah, blah, blah. No, man, does that make me happy? Hey, listen, I got some buddies out here that do real well for themselves, and that jet's collecting dust, right? And it doesn't make me happy right now, right?
Right.
So what does make me happy? I'm starting to think about the whole family thing, right? Maybe maybe time, maybe time to get going on that. I'm getting older. I turned 40 this year, and it might be something that I want, or it is something I want, but it might be something that I want to start moving forward on. And some of my friends would be like, "It could be this mistake," and some are very excited.
Hey, you can't take back.
Mom's out there smiling.
Hey, you can't take back what you just said, right? I just want you to know that you can't take it back. And I'm on the same way. I'm still single. I'm just trucking away. But you're right. There's going to be a time where we want it. I'm 43, so I'm 4 years older than you. So we're still within that age range.
We can get there, And the thing is, so to answer your question, I think what everybody out there should be doing with their time is, in one way or another, bettering themselves. And I really like what you said about staying away from the news, because, guys, it's repetitive. You know what? Honestly, if you were to take a clip of the news today and one from a month ago, it's word for word the same. You're listening to the same thing. It's just driving you nuts. Stop. It doesn't help. Go read a book. You don't want to read a book? Do an Audible. Right?
Yeah.
Some people are like, I'm not big into reading books. No problem. Play it. Right?
Play the book.
Learn how to cook. Pick up a hobby. I got a buddy of mine that is a huge weightlifter, and that's all he did was lift weights. And this guy is like, hey, well, this thing's all over. I want to be a yoga instructor, right? Because he's gone home and he's like, I can actually put on my own shirt now. So he's somehow bettering himself physically, mentally, right, emotionally. Yes. And I think that's what we need to do. When I said be prepared, some people might say, well, how are you supposed to be prepared for what you don't know is coming? This is how you prepare, right?
That's right.
Your body, your mind, your heart, you need to be a fine-tuned, oiled machine, right?
Yes.
Ready to go. At that mark, when it's time, go. Unfortunately, some people have used this time to drink, or pick up some bad habits. That's not going to help you. That takes you the other way, right? We want to go this way.
How do you pick up bad habits when you're quarantined, man? That's interesting. But
I know.
It happens. Right? It happens. I know.
They've actually, some of these, unfortunately, suicide and drug hotlines are overloaded right now. Some people are really not doing well with this. And hey, I'm not pretending like I'm Superman, right? No. There's some days where I'm like, I'm totally used to this. This thing is great. And there's some days I want to rip my hair out and I'm just over it, right?
Right.
We're all in the same boat, guys. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be. It is what it is, and we're all doing it together. So if your neighbor can do it, I can do it. You can do it too. It's all about that initial network that I said that really matters. Those are where your support group is going to come, where you're going to get over it. You got to help each other. You got to check on each other. And I think doing that, preparing your goals, and then deciding which line you kind of want to take, and doing your research, right? Like, for example, if you want to do real estate, start thinking about it. Well, how am I going to do this? What can I afford? Where am I funding? What's my budget? So you have everything lined up, ready to go. So when it's time, you don't have to go and start figuring these things out and miss the opportunity, right? That opportunity is going to come and it's going to go. So it's up to you.
Window of opportunity right now, and that's the way I've looked at it, is during this time, and I gave my explanation about the first 2 weeks were kind of like, whoa, this is strange. Like, is this really happening? This is the United States. This is global. Like, you're trying to figure it out. Then week number 3, 4, you're like, oh shit, this is real. And then week number 5, 6, that's when I said, all right, time to pivot, because this thing is going to keep going. And now we're going on this Friday. It'll be week number 9 for us in Santa Clara County. Their lift, well, I don't want to say lift, but it's supposed to end on May 31st. Yeah. Will it happen? I don't know. I mean, they got us on lockdown. Like, the businesses are on lockdown. I went out today. I drove out. I had to go run an errand, and on my way back, I went through downtown Campbell. I went through downtown San Jose. I went to just to drive and just to watch. And it was actually pretty crazy to see businesses boarded up already. One, for either, to protect their businesses, or two, just to see the emptiness of the streets and the few cars and all that. And it's just
like a movie, man.
Yeah, man, it doesn't resonate with me. But at the same time, during our most darkest moments is when we'll come out and shine. And that's, I think, what you've shared with us is absolutely right. And that's what I hope people out here that are, and I'm watching all the comments over here. There's a lot of good comments, a lot of silly comments, but I hope you guys that are out there listening and investing your time watching both of us on here, that you really get some nuggets out of this, because, you might not see this conversation again, or you just pay attention to it, because there's a lot of great things that are coming out of this. And I think that we need to prepare ourselves if you want to be successful, if that's part of your dream board, if that's part of your wants to move forward in life. And I share a lot of what you've just shared with me, Shervin, is that I have a dream board. I have the things that I want to accomplish in my life. I have my goals. Like right now, I have a short-term goal to launch the new company, CalX, which is my staffing company focused on the viral cleanups and the hazmat cleanups and all that. I pivoted, I rebranded, and now I'm also looking at the longer term. And then the next, I bumped all the things, my goals, the 100 million goal. And when it's not that that's what drives me. It's those are the empires that I want to build. And I want to continue to build with people that are close to me. Shervin, you got a lot of great relationships. We're going to do business together. I know that just from the things that we've already shared. We're going to find a way, it's timing to make the pieces come together. There's a lot of great people that are watching here. I'm going to do business with people here because there are people that are serious, and that's why they're here. They're listening to us. They're listening to you, not just because, it's Shervin, the Shahs of Sunset's character. No, it's because you're an entrepreneur and people know that, and they want to hear what are the golden nuggets that you can share with us. So I'm very thankful and blessed to have you here today with me, man.
Thank you so much. And the show that you're doing, it's awesome, man. I'm really proud of you for doing it.
Thank you.
You always come up with some real cool ideas, and I think this one you really knocked out the park. And I think
Thanks, man.
How many people out there that you're helping on a weekly basis. And,
Thanks, man. And
I myself tune in, and I'll continue to. So thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, Shervin. No, man, that means a lot coming from you too, man. I came out with my book. I just did it. The show may not be perfect. The book may not be perfect, but I'm doing it. And those that people, and I actually, believe it or not, I learned that from Mark Zuckerberg. One of the things they asked Mark is, how is it that you can put so much time into Facebook and all that? And he goes, 1, time management. 2, I just do it. I don't wait for it to be perfect. Yeah. Because if you're going to wait, like you mentioned earlier, if we're just waiting around, it's not going to come. Yeah, if you make that move and you make that power play and you make the decision to take it, you're going to go for it. I always tell people, make a decision, commit to your decision, and then execute. A decision and a commitment without execution is nothing. You got to follow it up with action. And there's a lot of people I've seen people that have transitioned, that have gone into real estate, that have transitioned. If they're going to do real estate, they gotta make the move. They gotta take action, because without action, it's just an empty thought, man. And it's like your businesses, you're going into your different ventures. If you didn't have that driver that take that action, you wouldn't be where you're at, and you wouldn't be the Shervin that you are today. And it's cool to see. To see where you're at. I'm proud to say that, hey, man, we had some good times, and I'm glad to see your success. I'm happy for your success, and I want to see you have more successes. I hope that your family and your, everyone else is doing as well too, and that when things maybe settle out, we're gonna connect, man. I'm gonna come down to LA and hang out with you.
I'm looking forward to it. Again,
give me a reason to get the hell out of San Jose for a minute,
Let's it opens up. We'll have a drink together.
I don't know if you can see on your side, there's people that have been commenting. There's, if you want to give a shout out to anybody, or if you want to ask any questions,
I have this other thing up, so I don't have the.
Okay, no worries. We got people, we got some great people that are in here, making some great comments. When you get a chance, go back. You might want to interact with some of these people. It's really good stuff. I want to give a shout out to Carmen Milagro, who's in here, Mike Anello, who's in here.
Hello,
Payam is in here. Man, there's a lot of people. Veronica Galindo, I had an amazing conversation earlier with another successful entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur. So she's doing great. We got, again, Melissa's in here. I mean, again, guys, make it happen. Don't talk about it, do it. And that's just what I've done. I mean, again, I did what I wanted to do. It even with my own studio. I had it out in my dining room, living room. I was like, you know what? But I have an empty second bedroom in my place. I'm going to turn it into my studio, and that's really what I did here.
Looks good, man. Looks good.
I'm downtown San Jose. I'm in one of the high rises, and so for blah 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 blah. That doesn't matter. It's just part of what what we do. So anyway, man, thank you very much. We've gone 55 minutes. I told you earlier it's 30 minutes, or the conversation gets good. We'll go. Yeah, exactly. We'll chat it. Anything you want to hit? Anything you would want to say to everyone? Last kind of thing on to wrap it up.
You know what? Be safe. Be careful. Be safe. Be ready, and be happy.
Perfect. Thank you again, Shervin, for spending time with me this evening, and I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna close you up, put you back in the backstage, and then I'll follow up with you after the show, man. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. Alrighty. All right, this is we're wrapping it up. Episode number 5. Good friend Shervin Roohparvar. Yes, it's like a tongue twister there. I want to thank everyone that joined us this evening. Thank you very much for all the comments. I'll make sure to jump on board and start replying back. Thank you everyone that's on. Thank you for all the likes and all the comments again. Next week, I'm super excited to be bringing on a good friend of mine, Ruben Resendez, very successful entrepreneur here in Silicon Valley. Owns a company called adhere.com. You can go to adhere.com. I think it's adherellc.com, but it's Adhere is the name of his company. Very successful young Latino entrepreneur, and very excited to have him next week on the show. Again, I want to apologize. I wasn't completely organized earlier. We've been dealing with the internet and so forth and all this other stuff, but no excuse. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Mike, thank you for jumping on board and listening today, man. I read some of your comments. I started laughing because they were making me laugh. And Jose Reeves, bro, you're my brother from another mother, bro. I love you. I just saw Melinda in here, Melinda Richardson. I miss you. I miss those magic cans. You're that's an inside joke. Okay, so guys, don't start rumors here. Anyways, thank you very much, everyone that joined. Angelica Moreno, nice to see that you're here. Thank you very much for joining. Let's see who else. Anyhow, thank you again. Episode 5 tonight. Shervin was our guest, entrepreneur, TV producer, TV star on TV shows, the Shahs of Sunset, and great entrepreneur and good friend. So thank you very much. And next week, don't forget 5 at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. It's every Wednesdays we do it here. And next week I'll have Ruben Resendez. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me again. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful night. Stay safe. Follow the rules so that we can break out of this this craziness. The sooner the better. So have a good night. Thank you.